Hello, guys, welcome back, and I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. So, I'm again back with a video after a very long break again, but I wanted to make this video because this is one aspect of the channel which I wanted to explore more and even about myself, the storytelling part, storytelling in short, right? So, I always had this deep desire to make a video like this wherein I share my life experiences, my life lessons, and I share about myself to my audience, right? People who know me personally, my close friends, my family know me, but all those people who are connected with us through Med Perspective and don't know me yet personally, this video can give you a gist of it overall, right? So this happens like on the 5th of October 2023. I turned 25 and I wanted to write a article like such, which you can, like, people do. Okay, these are the 25 lessons, life lessons and experiences which I've learned, and this is the year when I turned 25. So 25/25. So that's quite a thing on Twitter, I guess. And Twitter पे बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे करते हैं. And the medium of this video, of course, will be Hindi and English, or English, because we want to target both the audiences जो हमारे Indian भी है, and if at all, if somebody watches it from the abroad as well. So yeah, so recently I turned 25 years and I completed my 25 years, and I wanted to make a write up or a video about it. So I made an Instagram reel which was quite a hit, and currently I have deactivated my Instagrams because due to a commitment, personal commitment to a work, which of course I'll come back on Insta again when I complete it completely. So yeah, सो ये वीडियो जो मुझे बनाना था, ये काफ़ी दिनों से मेरे जहन में था कि एक करना है ऐसा वीडियो जहाँ पे मैं अपनी ऑडियंस से बहुत ही खुल के विदाउट एनी फ़िल्टर बात कर सकूँ, एंड जो भी मेरे दिल में है उसको उसे शेयर कर सकूँ विदाउट एनी फिल्टर्स और विदाउट एनी एडिटिंग, राइट? सो आई डोंट हैव अ स्क्रिप्ट राइट नाउ इन माई हैंड. So whatever I have and whatever I am going to say is just going to be one shot. So somewhere if I fumble, please pardon me, because I am not going to edit this video. It is just going to be one shot and one go through the whole video, and of course it will be long. It will be like quite long because we are discussing 25 points and 25 lessons, and I'll be talking in detail about each one of them, right? So all the people and all the students of philosophy, students of life, can watch this video till the end, because I believe that myself, like, I am personally also a student of life, and I try to learn as much as possible from everyone I can, right? And everybody has something or the else to teach us. So that's the best part about life, and that's the best part about living life daily, learning something new, learning something which can help us in our own personal physical growth, spiritual growth, or social, or you can take n number of factors you can consider it, right? So without much ado, let us begin, and let's go on to this journey wherein I want to share something about myself, my personal beliefs, my personal ideologies, my philosophy of life, and the people who have helped me shape to become the person who I am today. So yeah, these are the 25 lessons which I want to share it with you all, and if at all you all like it, so, like, of course I'll be taking a lot of efforts to say this and record this video. So just like, if you all like it, and अगर आपको लगे तो प्लीज़ कमेंट कर देना, ताकि मुझे अच्छा लगे कि या ये जो इतनी मेहनत की ये वीडियो बनाने के लिए वो काफ़ी सफल रही. So yeah, I'll be waiting to read your comments, and of course you can always share your experiences as well. But yeah, now let us begin with the video. So 25 life lessons I have learned in 25 years of my life. More like a video that explains me as a person, if not completely, partially. It can be long, since I'll explain all the lessons in detail. If you are a learner, a student of life, philosophy, I'll see you through till the end. Cheers to life. May God bless us all. So yeah, I turned 25 today. Here are 25 life experiences and lessons I wish to share with you all, right from childhood till date. So let us begin. The first one, your basic mindset and psychology is set on the basis of things you follow, most importantly, upon what you listen to. I was fortunate enough to find my mentor on YouTube across the seven seas. In my free time, I kept listening to Sir's audio tapes, and that built the base of my character. It helped me shape my life. So, guys, very few people, like, it is a very underrated thing about listening to people on YouTube, because in today's generation what happens is that कि हम सब इतना कंटेंट है इस मार्केट में कि वी गेट कंफ्यूज कि हम किसे सुने क्या सुने. सो I had my luck, I had my good luck back then when I was in 9th 10th standard, wherein I met my mentor, Mr. JR, on YouTube, and nearly I watched all his videos, all his life changing seminars and cassettes which are available on YouTube, like not even one but multiple times. Okay, so those things like are so deep rooted into my subconscious that my life and my actions and my patterns are based on those things which I have listened to over the years, right? So that is the basic thing that I want to tell you all, that whatever you read, you become, whatever you listen, you enact. So always, while choosing your guru, while choosing your mentor, you have to be very particular and very sure about the person whom you are choosing, because whoever you choose to become like, you will become, and whoever you choose to follow, you will follow definitely. So I had my good fortune to explore this side of the YouTube, and the endless videos that I can't explain, they how they have helped me grow, prosper in life, and to open the doors of abundances, and to open the doors of opportunities for me. So I'll always be grateful to my master, Mr. Ron, and his teachings I shall never forget. And उनकी जो सिखाई गई बातें हैं, वो इट्स लाइक यू कैन टेल कि एक वो जीन्स में आपके एनकोड हो गई है वो सिखाई हुई बातें, है ना. सो एक बेसिक फिलोसफी जो बोलते हैं हमारी लाइफ की. एंड सर की एक बहुत ही फेमस बात थी कि फॉर थिंग्स टू चेंज यू हैव गॉट टू चेंज, फॉर देम टू गेट बेटर यू हैव गॉट टू गेट बेटर. नथिंग चेंजेस if you don't change, and everything changes if you change. So change is the only constant, and somewhere this quote has like rooted deep seated into my subconscious mind, that change is the only constant. Like every day we go, every day we live, there is always something that we can change about ourselves. There is something in ourselves that we can always evolve and grow towards the life, to become more, to become a better person in general. So yeah, so I was very fortunate enough to find my mentor, like I said here, and this was my first life experiences. So again, I would like to emphasize that finding someone and finding a person on whose personal philosophy you will follow throughout the life is very important. Like there are many multiple gurus right now. Like some people follow the Osho ideology, some people follow Sadhguru ideology, some people follow this, some people follow that. But there is something which is meant for you and will come to you, okay, at the right time. So whatever thing comes to you, you follow that and see whether it is affecting your life, whether it is changing your life, and whether it is actually benefiting you in your life, right? So yeah, the second point, second lesson, explore all fields you can. I was very fortunate enough that my dad specially gave me all freedom and push to explore as many fields as I could. I spent my childhood in ISKCON Chowpatty, pursued painting, learned karate, black belt. I was the captain of my table tennis team. We won DSO competition, which is a district competition. Then, all throughout my life, I had explored multiple fields, like social media manager of Dr. Like I handle all the community. So basically, a community manager of Dr. Farooq Master, who is not only India's but even like currently the world's one of the renowned most famous homeopath, and the most senior most homeopath, and the living legend of homeopathy with me, like with us, who is again my homeopathic guru and my personal. Whenever I get trouble, any issues, I always approach sir, and like he has the best of the answers. So yeah, so managing social media of sirs, Instagram, Facebook, then becoming a teacher, starting my YouTube channel, becoming a doctor, and like there are endless things that I've spreaded my fields in. So what I would again emphasize here is that whatever the eye doesn't see, or it has not seen, it will never know. So if you want to expand your horizon, and if you want to expand your thinking capacity or creativity, or the what um, how can I say it, if you want to really expand your horizon, you need to dig deep into many things, and then see and seek which fits you best, right? So this thing starts from the childhood, and I was very fortunate that my dad has tailor made me. Like, he has literally made me and corrected me at times whenever I've gone wrong, but most importantly, he has given me the freedom to do whatever I want to do, or whatever I wanted to do in life. I still remember receiving a letter from him when I was in my 10th standard, that beta, no matter what you do, I have full confidence in you that you will do the best in whichever field you go and do. And so yeah, that was a very encouraging thing which a parent can do for their children. And to all the future possible parents to be, always have this thing in mind that somewhere written notes and written things given to your children can encourage them a lot. I had received it from my father, so I know the importance of it. So yeah, like I said, that all throughout my childhood, now to explore more about, like, to share something more about me. So it all started when I was young. So it all started in the temples of Iskon Chopati, wherein we used to have a daily school, Sunday school, wherein the teachers used to teach us about Krishna Bhagwan, his whole life, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, then the Kirtans, and then the Prasadam. I still remember eating the khichdi, and it is miraculously very strange to believe, but even at a temperature of 16 or 17 degrees Celsius in the kitchen where the khichdis are kept, when it comes to a plate, it is hot, piping hot. So that is something. इस्कॉन की जो हम बोलते हैं कि इस्कॉन जो प्रसाद है खिचड़ी का, उसका जो एक टेस्ट है, वो हमेशा मतलब मन में रहेगा ही, लाइक टिल लाइफ टाइम. सो इट इज समथिंग दैट कैन नेवर गो, that taste of that prasad. It is something that I cannot express in words. But yeah, my whole childhood I've spent in the ISKCON temple. Sunday, my granny used to come, my dad used to come, my mummy used to come, my dada used to come to drop me and pick me up from there. But yeah, that thing that thing kind of keeps you rooted to your culture, to your ethnicity, to your background. And of course the religious part comes in with it as well, right? So yeah, then after that, when I was in my school, I'd always been a good student, above average. Like, we used to always be in ranks, like first 10, first 5, है ना? So हमेशा, maybe I was blessed on that part कि whatever I used to study, I could remember it well, and I could reproduce it well in exams, and I could crack it easily. So then, while I was in my school, the first school, New Era, of course a fantastic school, and I had to, like, my dad had to literally made me repeat 1 year in nursery so that I could take admission in New Era because of my date issues in date of birth. So I had to literally repeat 1 year in nursery so that only I could learn Gujarati language. So you can see, like, how important my dad had kept it at that time, that my son should know the mother tongue, how to write and how to read as well. So that's one part of parenting as well. Okay, your child should know the mother tongue and should be able to read, and of course everybody can speak, but read and write should always be there. That was his ideology, his philosophy. So yeah, sometimes now I feel that it was always a added advantage to me, because learning more languages can always increase your linguistic capacity, and even the brain's capacity to cognitive abilities are, like, found to be quite better in people who know multiple languages, right? So yeah, then when I was in New Era school, we had a multiple opportunities there as well. I used to take part in skits, I used to take part in plays, recitations, elocutions, and like winning prizes in them was one of the things that could happen naturally, right? Then winning the leadership award in my school, to lead people, take the opportunity, take the front lead, and take the guidance for the team and be take the accountability. So yeah, that is there. And of course then painting was something that came very naturally to me. So I'm a painter, I'm an artist, probably an abstract artist and an abstract painter, and I specialized in watercolors and canvas. um, so yeah, then this part was there in me, the art part, the artistic capacity and the ability. Then we had in New Era there was karate classes option as well. So then I pursued karate as well. It's like so it's like you do your karate, you give your exams regularly every 6 months, every 1 year. Then you go for the karate camps in Pune, you stay there, you train rigorously for 3 to 4 days, you stay in dorms, you learn a lot about life on the field, right? So that was one advantage again to me. Then when I was in my fourth standard, we had a tuition teacher who told us ke Chintan and like my friend Darshan, that you all should take admission in YMCA, which is just like 5 minutes walking distance from my home in Grand Road. That you all should take part in like learning new activities of sports. So typically you can say table tennis, because table tennis was quite popular in YMCA. So then I pursued table tennis. So initially when I went there, I met my coach Nandu sir, and I used to only tell me कि चिंतन पहले तो देख के सीख, पहले एक दो महीने देख लोग कैसे खेल रहे, फिर देख देख के सीख, because he did not have the time at that time slotting coaching slot available. So sir just told me कि तू देख लोग कैसे खेल रहे हैं, तू ट्राई कर. So then my dad bought a racket for me, and then of course I loved the sport so much that I decided to like I'll pursue it ahead. And then like the whole day we used to play there in the YMCA. And those were the days when, like, if you get out once from a round, the next round will come after maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. So that is the thing it was going on at that time. Like it was so crowded, the YMCA. And हमने बहुत टेबल टेनिस खेला. Then I pursued it professionally also. Like we used to win competitions in my school. So when I went to my second school, SXBA, Saint Xavier's Boys Academy, there table tennis was a very well-known sport, and they had a good scholarship as well in table tennis. So when I was in my fifth standard, we had a very nice and a very great player, Yash Inamdar, who was the Mumbai City players. Like he was in the bench of the Mumbai player. So when I was in my fifth standard, I lost my final round against him. When I came to sixth, I decided that now no matter what happens, I have to win the scholarship, the Harsh Sampat Trophy, which we had at that time. So somehow I don't know what happened. I trained very hard, and in the finals, I defeated Yash, and I won that year the trophy, the scholarship, and the amount which came with it. So yeah, and that was the beginning phase of table tennis. And then like all throughout the years in SXBA when I was there, I won the best table tennis player of the year all throughout, from that year till my 10th standard SSE. And along with that, of course, the trophy and the cash that came in. And along with that also, there were multiple things that we were doing that time, that leadership. So I won that consecutive awards for the best leader of the year as well, except for the 7th or 8th standard, or else it was continuous. Then we had multiple opportunities there as well, wherein you study, when you grow, you take part in elocutions. So I took part in Marathi elocutions, Hindi elocutions. Then of course the chef part, which in me, like I love cooking, and I can literally cook anything you can order, of course in veg. And so yeah, we won the inter-school competition of cooking as well when I was in SXBM. And there were many opportunities that we got to learn while in this school. Then as and when things went by, I went to the Jain, like I went to one of the best colleges of Mumbai one could ever go, Jain College. So in Jain College, we had very good exposure of teaching and learning, and of friends as well. So I met my best friends there in my life, Kashish and the other people whom I think that were really very useful thing for me in my progress of friendship and relationships in life, right? So that was one part of it. And this thing, if I keep on speaking about the things that I've done, it can take a whole one new video, so I'll just restrict to it right now. But yeah, so what I wanted to say is that You have to explore as many fields as you can, because this will really expand your horizon of, you know, approaching things and taking things in life ahead, forward. So the third lesson, the third point is intentions. Intentions. People with good intentions always win in the end. So I read this very nice quote somewhere on internet, that the people who have a good intention and a good heart always win in the end. Sometimes your victories might not be very prominent right now, but in your heart, if your heart is very pure, if your heart is very clean, like you don't wish ill for anyone, if somebody is progressing in life, आप उनके बारे में अच्छा like बुरा ना सोचो, आपके मन में इन शॉर्ट किसी के लिए अगर कपट ना हो, बराबर, जो हम बोलते हैं कि मन काफ़ी साफ हो, तो आप लाइफ में जीतने वाले हो, ये गारंटीड है. ओके, बट कहीं ना कहीं if that adulteration comes in, maybe due to your bad company, due to your bad guidance, or a, you know, a fake guru, something you meet on internet or somewhere else in life, that thing affects tremendously, and that thing can, you know, course, like that thing can change the direction of the course of your life. But again, so whichever work you do, whichever things you do, always make sure that your intentions are very clear. For example, let me give you a simple example, that suppose I am planning to learn under someone, right? So example, अगर आपको किसी के अंडर सीखने की इच्छा हो, सो 99% ऑफ टाइम पीपल की यही आशा होती है कि मुझे क्या मिलेगा वहाँ से जहाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ, बराबर, क्या पैसे मिलेंगे, क्या कुछ सीखने मिलेगा, क्या कुछ केसेस देखने मिलेंगे, क्या ये करने मिलेगा, वो करने मिलेगा. एंड ये मैंने देखा है कि 99% ऑफ द पीपल में यही एक रहता है बात, कि मुझे क्या मिलेगा. ओके, हम क्या दे सकते हैं, nobody ever talks about it. Like it is a very famous quote which goes around, right? कि don't ask what the country can do for me, but always ask what can I do for the country. So the same thing applies here, that wherever you go to study or to assist someone in life, or to, you know, work with somebody ahead in life, always have your intentions very clear, कि मैं सब काप कूप के सब समेट लूँ, या तो फिर मैं कुछ दे के जाऊँ सामने वाले इंसान को जिसके पास मैं जा रहा हूँ, राइट? So this intent and this intentions can clear many things in your life. Okay, so ये एक बात बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट जो मुझे लगती थी, which I have observed in people, that लोग हमेशा यही सोचते हैं कि मुझे क्या मिलेगा यहाँ से यार, मतलब क्या मैं ले सकता हूँ, क्या लूँगा, but nobody talks about giving. Of course, everybody has their own skill set and their own talents, so you can work upon that and you can try to give that to someone, which can help them in their growth and in their journey and in their progress. So ये एक बात काफ़ी क्लियर है कि योर इंटेंट मैटर्स अ लॉट, एंड समटाइम्स योर इंटेंशंस डिटरमिन योर डेस्टिनी एंड द फ्यूचर वेल बीइंग. Like I've mentioned in here, I have experienced it in my own life. That's why I can very openly share it with you all. That suppose मेरी नीति बहुत साफ रही है, suppose मेरे intentions काफ़ी clear रहे हैं, काफ़ी unadulterated रहे हैं, so मेरे लिए जो opportunities आने वाले हैं वो काफ़ी अच्छे ही रहेंगे, right? बट सपोज इफ आई जॉइन समवेयर एंड आई हैव दिस थिंग इन मी कि अरे मैं इसका ये कैसे ले लूँ, वो कैसे ले लूँ, यहाँ से कैसे, वहाँ से कैसे, इसका ये कुछ, मतलब यहाँ से कुछ काट लूँ, वहाँ से कुछ काट लूँ, ये ले लूँ, वो ले लूँ. सो समवेयर, यू नो, your whole purpose and the whole intent goes the wrong direction. So the only thing, like my whole audience is like they are junior to me, like the first, second and third, fourth years. So my only advice to you all would be that whenever in life you go to work somewhere, always keep this intention very clear in your mind, that not what can you get. Of course, now you know that you're going somewhere, going under someone who is a very renowned so and so, like whatever it may be, a job or maybe a clinic assistant or clinical assistance, whatever XYZ it may be, but you already know that what you're going to get, right? But now your whole intention should be, once reaching there, what can you give, how well can you give. And it is generally said that people who work long term with people in jobs or something like that, is always when, अगर आपको कुछ x amount की आपको कोई पे दे रहा हो and आप उनको 10x का काम करके दो, so in that long run of 10x there might happen such a thing that, you know, you build a very good rapport with someone, and then you can, you know, continue that journey with that person all throughout their life. So building that rapport, building that something connection with that person only comes when you work with a very pure intent, wherein your intentions are very clear to the opposite person. And in short, your heart should be very pure and clean wherever you go to work, right? So if at all you think that, the complaints of jealousy, envy are very prominent in me, there is something, a red flag, which we need to work upon in yourself. So yeah, keep that in mind, because your intentions will determine your destiny and the future well-being. This is for sure. For sure. The fourth point, you can you can only have one, two, max three close, real solid friends. If you're lucky, five to six. Rest all are the acquaintances. Invest heavily in your homies, which is your best friends and your friends. They'll be the only ones helping you in your tough times. So now, no matter what I say and how in depth and in the detail I say, this point is something that will always stand out, because it is a personal experience from my side as well, that एक बात आप काफ़ी ध्यान में क्लियर रखो लाइफ में, कि आपके पेरेंट्स के अलावा आपके लिए कोई अच्छा नहीं सोचने वाला है लाइफ में. अगर आप बहुत ही लकी हो तो मे बी your well wishers, your gurus, your acquaintances, your best friends and all. So this is the bare minimum, that the purest of pure intentions will only come from parents, and that is for sure. Because no matter where you go and whatever you do in life, there will always be that one factor which can, create that filter in between. But the bond and the love of the parent is the only love which will always be filterless throughout your whole life. So always while work, like while going out, have this one thing in mind, that your parents will only have the purest intentions for you. Of course, now if you're lucky and you have really done some very good job, and like you have done some very good things in life, and you have given a lot so that you can receive it back. For example, if I give it in you, in my case, I have people in my life outside my family who keep me as family. Like I have sir, I have my brothers, elder brothers, Yatrik bhai, Abhishek bhai, those who literally, like you have someone in your life, like those also whom, like they also want you to grow in life, and they also want you to see succeed in life. So if you're extremely very lucky, you might have that exposure as well. Now when I come back to friendship, you have to make sure that you cannot have multiple friends. Okay, you might have thousands of acquaintances. Suppose, for example, now I'm a public figure, I might have thousands of acquaintances and people knowing me, but people whom I always keep close to my circle will always be very few. Okay, so you have to be like, this is the only point where I say that somewhere you have to be selfish, and you have to be only selfish in one thing: selecting your company. In rest all field, I never say that you have to be selfish, but suppose you have to be, if at all you have to be selfish in one thing, please be selfish in selecting your company, and please be selfish in selecting the people you sit up and sit down with. Because that is like, of course आपने सबने वो example सुना रहेगा कि you are the average of the 5 people you spend your most of the time with. So you will always be that average of the people you sit up and sit down with. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. So if at all in your life you see that nobody is matching your level of frequency or the vibrations, please stay alone. I have stayed alone like for like around 15 years of my life, having no friends, bullied all throughout my school life, having no friends, alone, so I've been alone. And you have to have that patience ki, yeah, things can change, the best for you is yet to come. Okay, so please be alone, but don't be in the wrong company. Especially don't select the wrong best friends, because that can heavily influence your life. In my life personally, I was very fortunate enough in this aspect as well, because I got people whom I can really trust upon in my life. And I know that these 3 to 4 or maybe 5, like suppose I'm like, I'll consider myself extra lucky for the things that we have done, so somewhere it has paid me back in this way. But yeah, so I can see that there are 7 8 people in my life whom I can blindly trust, whom I can rely on, whom I can depend on. And I know that if suppose today I die, they will be the ones looking after my family as well, and like they won't keep my family alone. So you need to have that connection in your life, and that is very important. सो प्लीज़ कीप दिस पॉइंट इन माइंड फ्रेंड्स कि आपके जो रियल के जो फ्रेंड्स रहेंगे वो काफ़ी काफ़ी कम रहेंगे, एंड जो आपके लिए अच्छे सोचते हैं वो तो उससे भी कम रहेंगे, है ना. सो it is very self-explanatory. I guess everybody in life might have tasted this part of life, maybe the bitter ones, but yeah, these are experiences as well. Okay, so invest heavily in your homies, the people whom you think that are there in your squad, and be very judgmental, very selective, very carefully picky in selecting your best friends and your acquaintances, right? So yeah, the fifth lesson: trust the timing of your life. You are exactly at the place you were meant to be, and you have exactly got what you deserve. Remember, in life, we don't always get what we need, we only get what we deserve. So, my mentor always used to tell me this thing, that one does not get in life what he always wishes, but yes, one surely gets something in life what he deserves. So now you look into the process of becoming deserving. How can you contribute back something to the society wherein you now start opening doors of abundance and opportunity for you, right? So always be deserving, and I'm very sure that if you work on this part, the deserving part comes. And like, I can of course tell you from my journey only what I've experienced in my life, that yeah, when I started Med Perspect also, we had one intention very clearly in our mind, that we have to serve, and you have to serve selflessly. मतलब स्टूडेंट्स को सेल्फलेसली हेल्प करना है हमको, विदाउट एनी पर्सनल गेन और पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट और पर्सनल प्रॉफिट्स. ओके, सो ये हमारी बात सौरभ की, मेरी, एंड मेरे जो टीम मेंबर्स थे उन सब की ये बात काफ़ी एक फिक्स थी कि हमें सेल्फलेसली हेल्प करना है लोगों को, उनको जेन्युइनली हेल्प करना है, मतलब हेल्प के लिए. सो Saurav was making the notes thing, I was doing the write up part of it, and we were trying to somewhere influence people of our community or homeopathy. And we are very happy that we could, now cover the whole India throughout. And Rockstar Pandya and Med Perspect is something like now every student of homeopathy knows it, right? So that's something that we have earned. So because of this earning, we've also deserved many things, and they have come in our lives. So the only thing that I would say is that please always try to build up yourself and try to find ways wherein you can serve, or try to find ways wherein you can be deserved, wherein you are deserved to get something, right? So that is one important point in life. The sixth lesson: I have always tried to be a giver. I have learned it from my parents. I feel blessed to be tailor made by them. My dad literally gave me the best lessons, learnings one could give. Being a giver opens doors of endless opportunities and abundances for you. So, I have explained this point to you in the previous discussions as well. But yes, give without any intentions or without any expectations. So, जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि नेकी कर दरिया में फेंक, तो आप नेकी करो, उसे फेंक दो, तो it will all come back to you when you are in desert. Okay, so you do good, you throw it in the sea, and this river will come back to you when you are in a desert, right? So that is one thing, that always try to be a giver, always try to see wherein you can initiate things, wherein you can contribute things, and wherein you can contribute in other people's life and their journey, right? So for me this was a very personal thing, because like my mentor, he had done and influenced millions and millions of life of people across the globe, and I am one of them. So I had the same intention and the same desire, that if I am supposed to do work somewhere and do something or start up any institution, this has to be the main intention, कि लोगों की लाइफ बदलनी चाहिए, लोगों को हेल्प होनी चाहिए, लोगों की लाइफ और आसान होनी चाहिए, ना कि डिफिकल्ट हो. ओके, सो दैट वाज द मेन इंटेंशन बिहाइंड दिस. सो प्लीज बी अ गिवर, बी अ गिवर. Seventh, we all have self-interest, but Mr. JR always used to say, we should have enlightened self-interest wherein everybody wins and nobody loses. Always play win-win games. That is how Med Perspect was born. So coming back to Med Perspect and my personal journey, let me explain you all very shortly how it began and what was the whole purpose behind it of creating Med Perspect. So there are two parts to it. Okay, one is a very good side and one is somewhat bad side on my part, that are negative emotions that influence me to create something very positive. So we'll always start with the good thing. So when I gave my exams, I was knowing that I'm going to fail because I had nearly left around 60-70 marks का paper of both anat and physio. So I was knowing that I'm going to fail. But now since whatever जो लिखा था हमने 130 मार्क्स का पेपर, उसमें से मुझे 135 130 मिल गए सब सारे पेपर्स में एनाट एंड फिजियो के. So I was lucky enough to कि the thing that was written was correct and I got the full marks for that thing and I passed somehow. So yeah. But when I went to my second year, I saw that nearly 30 people in our class have failed the first year. And when I went in second year, I had seen that there are multiple people who are repeatedly failing again and again and again. So there has to be something wrong, right? Because the schooling, I mean the education here in our college CMP is top notch, the teachers are top notch, and the whole environment is top notch. Then why some people are failing? And why some people are failing again and again and again? And why some people are failing 6 to 7 times? So there was this one girl who had nearly failed like 6 times in her first year. So that created a lot of inquisitiveness in me to help her genuinely. कि क्या तकलीफ हो रही है आपको, क्या कुछ इश्यूज आ रहे हैं, तो मुझे बताइए, तो मैं हम अब मिलके कुछ सोल्यूशन मिलके कर सकते हैं. सो लाइक आई वाज वेरी बोल्ड इनफ टू हेल्प दैट पर्सन एंड आई वेंट अ फ्रंट स्टेट एंड आई टोल्ड हर के सो एंड सो कि आपको कुछ तकलीफ रहेंगी तो हमें बताइए, आपको कुछ भी ज़रूरत है कि तो यू कैन सिट. देन ऑफ कोर्स वी सेट इन द कैंटीन, वी डिस्कस्ड लॉन्ग आवर्स एंड टॉकिंग ऑफ डिस्कशन एंड चैटिंग and motivating her कि नहीं, because second year is considered one of the toughest years in our medical of BHMS portion as well, at least of what I know. So I had this fear in me that like her second year should be very smooth enough, like she should pass second year completely without any flunking or getting KT in any subject. So that was my biggest fear, and like what could we do to help them, right? Because there were multiple 7-8 seniors as well who had also flunked. सो सोचा हमने कि एक स्टडी बडी का ग्रुप बनाते हैं, एंड स्टडी बडी करके एक ग्रुप बनाया जहाँ पे मैंने मेरे क्लास के टॉपर्स के अप्रोच करके ये बात उनसे कन्वे की थी, पिच की थी कि हम सब मिलके पेपर्स सॉल्व करेंगे एंड इन लोगों को हम दे देंगे पेपर्स, सॉल्व पेपर्स, कि आप एटलीस्ट कुछ नहीं तो ये पढ़ो एंड एग्जाम पास कर लो, राइट. सो इनिशियली एवरीबडी अप्रिशिएटेड कि वाओ चिंतन, सच ए नाइस प्लान, सो एंड सो, अरे हम सब करेंगे. बट लाइक यू ऑल नो दैट पीपल कमिट वेरी इजीली बट दे डो नॉट कंप्लीट थिंग्स. So last में ऐसा हुआ था कि then we were the like myself along with my 2 friends who completed the whole thing and give it to them. So yeah, we wrote the answers, we solved the 2 markers, we took the pain and efforts for them कि at least आप लोग ये करके तो पास हो जाओ, because कुछ नहीं तो at least ये कर लो, है ना. तो जो हमने ग्रुप बनाया था 9 लोगों का, उसमें से 8 people passed the second year in first attempt and that girl too passed that thing in first attempt, right? So that was like one of a very personal victory for me, because I was constantly motivating them, I was constantly pushing them, I was constantly texting them कि आप नहीं पढ़ो, because like motivation again is my field of interest. Life coaching is something I do and I've been doing it since now 10 years. So this was my zone and this was my expertise or my USP, right? So I had to do it with my topmost game and I had to help them very selflessly. So yeah, out of 9, I guess 8 of them passed. One girl got in only one subject KT. So I was like quite confident कि wow, this is somewhere working, right? So if it is working here, then why not take it one step ahead and do it on a bigger scale? So that time Saurav had just started and I was on the verge of starting it. So of course like we all do, है ना, notes किसी के पास होते नहीं है. तो yeah, so now coming to the negative part of it, when I was in my first year, I had asked like few probable good students कि आपकी notes है तो मुझे बताओ, like can you share me your notes, and like all of them didn't tell me कि हमने notes नहीं बनाए, but they said कि they said कि हमने notes नहीं बनाए अभी तक, है ना, we don't make notes. And to my surprise, when I see that like the same set of people in their final year, I see them coming with a big bunch of notes, like that piles and piles of notes compiled together, and I was like wow, कि सपोज अगर ऐसे ही करना है तो फिर समझ गया हूँ मैं कि मतलब अभी कैसे चलने वाला है लाइफ अहेड, राइट. सो दैट वाज वन थिंग कि आई वाज रिजेक्टेड बाय गिविंग समवन्स नोट्स. सो आई दिस थिंग लाइक डीपली हर्ट मी, बिकॉज फिर ऐसा लगा कि अभी ऐसा कुछ करना है कि किसी भी स्टूडेंट को लाइफ में नोट्स मांगने की ज़रूरत ना पड़े किसी से, है ना, एक ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म बना हुआ हो. सो ये एक फ्यूलिंग डिज़ायर थी और एक फायर था अंदर कि बस ये जो मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है ना, एंड लोग जो मेरी सीनियर्स भी बोलते थे, लाइक आई हैव माई फ्रेंड MS Ops Gynac, like she has just completed her MS and she's become a surgeon. Dr. Tanvi used to always tell me that Chintan, medical field is one of the most toxic environment you'll ever be in, right? Here everybody competes with themselves. They are so toxic and they are so this thing कि किसी को किसी की हेल्प नहीं करनी है. एंड मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि यार मेडिकल तो इतनी नोबल प्रोफेशन है, बिकॉज समवेयर समथिंग, ये मेरी बिलीफ थी पहले से ही कि मेडिकल में भी, होम्योपैथी में नहीं बट मेडिकल में, इफ़ यू शेयर समथिंग यू नो एंड दैट थिंग हेल्प समवन, दैट कैन एक्चुअली हेल्प दैट पर्सन सेव अ फर्दर प्रॉबेबल लाइफ हेड इन फ्यूचर एज वेल, राइट? कि सपोज मुझे कुछ आता है तो मैं किसी से शेयर करूँ, तो वो बंदा अगर वो पढ़ेगा तो फ्यूचर में कुछ कोई केस आएंगे, कोई पेशेंट्स आएंगे, so that can actually help the patient, right? And the whole purpose of being in medical field is to save lives, is to, you know, maintain health of people. So this is the main main basic purpose of being into a medical field, into this noble profession, that you have to save lives. If not lives, if you cannot save lives, then at least you have to maintain a good health for everybody around you and your patients, right? But here what we see is that अंदर अंदर ही इतने कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होते हैं लोगों के बीच में, टॉपर्स के बीच में, एंड दैट rat race, like who will come first, who will come second, who will come last, and that shitty thing that I never used to like it. But since we are in this game, we all have to play it. But then I thought that कुछ ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि ये चीज़ें बदल जाए अभी, कि ऐसा कुछ करें हम कि जिसको को भी टॉप करना है वो अपनी एग्जाम्स टॉप कर सके विदाउट एनी सपोर्ट और विदाउट एनी वंस पर्सनल इन हेल्प्स, इन सपोर्ट, इन हेल्प, इन कॉलेज सपोर्ट एंड हेल्प, राइट? सो ये चीज़ें मेरे दिमाग में बैक ऑफ द माइंड हमेशा चल रही थी कि ऐसा कुछ करना है कि लोग टॉप कर सके, है ना? सो देन वी स्टार्टेड मेड पर्सपेक्ट. आई यूज्ड टू वर्क ऑन अ डे एंड नाइट, टाइप एवरीथिंग स्टेप बाय स्टेप. सो द वी स्टार्टेड विद फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड ईयर. फिर मेड पर्सपेक्ट की चैनल, 400 से ज़्यादा नोट्स, 100 दो लाइक हज़ार से 1000+ messages, you know, motivation, there's that, rules of exams, and all that I was skilled in. I wrote it down, I typed it out, and it is not like, mind you, that AI has just come up. उस टाइम पे चैट जीपीटी था नहीं, राइट? सो वो सारी चीज़ हमने बाई डिफ़ॉल्ट मैंने खुद टाइपिंग करके लिखी थी सारी चीज़ें, है ना? Because I was good in writing, storytelling, and I always wanted to do this thing in life further ahead as well. So yeah, so ऐसे हमने स्टार्ट किया था. Initially the numbers are very low, so of course when you are running low you need someone to push you. So I was very fortunate enough to have my big brother Saurav, our rockstar Pandya. So I was doing simultaneously YouTube as well, and YouTube पे भी व्यूज़ नहीं आ रहे थे. यहाँ पे टेलीग्राम पे नोट्स डाले तो नोट्स की भी व्यूज़ नहीं आ रहे थे. तो सौरव, लाइक आई हैड ऑलमोस्ट गिवन अप. तो सौरव कम्स टू मी और मैसेज एंड टेल्स मी कि चिंतन क्या हुआ, वीडियोस नहीं बना रहा है, मतलब वी टॉक इन गुजराती. सो सर कि શું થયું ભાઈ, વિડીયોઝ નથી આવી રહ્યા તારા, શું મતલબ કંઈ ઓલ ગુડ? તો આઈ ટોલ્ડ હિમ કે યાર ભાઈ વ્યૂઝ નથી આવી રહ્યા. એન્ડ લાઈક ઓફકોર્સ being in the YouTube field and this thing requires a lot of motivation, and that only comes by likes and views. If at all not likes, but at least views, right? So it was like કે ભાઈ ચાલતું રહે આ બધું તો, પણ આપણે કામ કરતા રહેવાનું, હે ને? કામ નહીં છોડ, તું કરતો રહે. તને જોઈએ તો હું તને હેલ્પ કરીને પુશ કરું તારી ચેનલ, મારા ચેનલ્સ પર. So he was very kind and gracious enough to, you know, forward my messages in his group कि आप join करो, ये भी join करो, ये भी join करो. And then the rest is history, right? Our YouTube channel became very successful. I even got my first check from the YouTube. Like I earned in dollars for the first time in my life. That was a enthralling experience in itself as well. You know, we nearly crossed 10,000 subscribers in both Telegram and YouTube. Like of course the Indian audience is not that graceful and grateful. So like, if I'm not wrong, that people had utilized our things, but they didn't support that much which they could have supported, right? Because this is generally what I find is in India especially, that people somewhere, you know, still have that thing कि we won't subscribe to a person, we won't like support him. I don't know exactly, but yeah, somewhere I couldn't figure it out, that why is it so happening, and why are people so reluctant to like someone, comment something nice and tell them something if they're doing something good, right? That's something that I couldn't crack it till date. And yeah, that part of it, right? We can't change. So that is the basic journey of med perspective in short, कि एक पॉजिटिव साइड एक नेगेटिव साइड कंबाइन करके एक अच्छी बहुत बड़ी पॉजिटिव साइड बन गई. एंड लाइक नाउ I don't even work on the groups. I have given it to my juniors, Yasmin and Sufyan and other moderators who are heading the operations now, because जो मुझे letters मिले हैं, जो मैंने ये जो काम किया, so जो चीज़ें मुझे मिली है अमूल्य चीज़ें, which cannot be measured, which cannot be even earned by giving someone 1 crore rupees, है ना. तो ये चीज़ अब जो हमने कमाई है ना, that gives you the happiness and the satisfaction of the highest level. It's like saving someone's life. That satisfaction which you get is the same satisfaction you get when somebody tells you कि सर मैंने आपके सब किए बताई हुई बातों को मैंने इम्प्लीमेंट किया, फॉलो किया, एंड मैंने कॉलेज टॉप किया, मुझे अच्छे मार्क्स से मैं पास हुई, माई पेरेंट्स आई बी माई दिस दैट, बिकॉज आई वॉज वेरी फॉर्चुनेट टू बी फ्रॉम अ कॉलेज वेर इन वी हैड ऑल द फैसिलिटीज. बट समवेयर व्हेन यू गो इन द इंटीरियर्स, they don't even know what is going on in homeopathy, what is homeopathy. They've never seen any patient as well. So how will they get that hang of it? So our main purpose was कि we have to create कि जिनके पास जो नहीं है उनको दो, तो जिसके पास जो नहीं था उसके लिए हमने किया. मेजोरिटी ऑफ द पीपल वर फ्रॉम वर्नाक्युलर मीडियम. सो हमने एक ऐसा टेलीग्राम पे ग्रुप बनाया कि जहाँ पे हम लोगों को इंग्लिश भी सिखाए, है ना. तो उसका भी ग्रुप बनाया. सारे 1st to 4th ईयर के स्टडी ग्रुप्स बनाए जहाँ पे डेली टारगेट्स चल रहे हैं, डेली शेड्यूल्स चल रहे हैं, नोट्स शेयरिंग हो रही है. लोगों ने कलेक्टिवली आके हमने हेल्प करना चालू की. लोगों ने सामने से आके अपने नोट्स दिए कि सर आप भी मेरे आपके नोट्स ये हमारे नोट्स से आप डालो. सो यू गाइज वोंट बिलीव इट दैट करंटली इन टुडेज सिनारियो वी हैव like 3 sets of notes for all the years, wherein अगर आपको खाली टॉप करना है एग्जाम तो आप ये like टॉपर्स के नोट्स पढ़ो. अगर आपको जस्ट like पास होना है और डिसेंट मार्क्स लाइन तो ये नोट पढ़ो, ये पढ़ो. सो 3 सेट के भी नोट्स हमने जो बना के दिए थे. सो हमने इतना डिटेल में एंड इतना वर्कअप करके काम किया था, राइट. सो दैट इज med perspective in short. So the name which goes here is that medical perspective. जो मेडिकल पर्सपेक्टिव था पहले, सेल्फिशनेस, एनवीनेस, जेलसी, उस सबको एक चेंज करके लाना था एक हेल्दी एटमोसफियर वेर इन सब मिल जुल कर पड़े एंड सब ग्रोथ, सबकी ग्रोथ हो एंड एनलाइटमेंट, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट दिखाए लोग, है ना. कि मैं ही सिर्फ खा के आगे नहीं बढ़ जाऊँ बट दूसरे भी आगे चलते रहे, है ना. सो वो एक बेसिक पर्सपेक्टिव बदलना था लोगों का, विच आई एम वेरी ग्लैड एंड वेरी हैप्पी कि इतनी जल्दी बदल गया है ना. सो या द 8th point, your health is all you have. When I earned my first 20k, I didn't invest in stock, but I invested in a gym membership which is 24/7, where I can work out and do yoga. Health is indeed wealth. Of course, this is very self-explanatory. Okay, the more care you take of your health and your family's health, the longer you can run this race. है ना. 9th lesson: if your actions inspires others, you are a leader. This quote my sir had told me when I explained him all that I do on med perspective and the student thing. So he had told me this thing, that Chintan, if your actions inspires other, you are a leader. And of course the leadership is something that came very naturally to me. I always make sure my team members are happy working with me and they feel home when they are with me. So when we do this thing of leadership, of course then you recruit, you hire people, and I have my set of team members who are there with me. So it is around 50 people who are working with me. Now we are doing a state level expansion wherein we are penetrating 8 states now. So हर एक स्टेट का मेरा एक मॉडरेटर है, हर एक स्टेट में मेरे एक पीपल है जो एक स्पेसिफिक काम कर रहे हैं. जो हमने महाराष्ट्र में किया, मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो काम आप दूसरे स्टेट्स वाले दूसरे अपने स्टेट में करें, थोड़ी अवेयरनेस लाए, होम्योपैथी को ऊपर लेके आए. दैट्स इट, राइट. सो दिस थिंग comes very naturally to me, and I'm very sure that if you ask the people who have worked with me, you'll always get the best answers and the best results. I'm not boasting, but yeah, I always like to keep people very nicely, like how sir has kept me, my teachers have kept me. Like, of course, I always keep this thing in mind, like how Dr. Master has kept me as a student, like his own son. Being a student, he has kept me like his own son, है ना. So like we have the breakfast together, we go on to places together, you have lunch with him together, then the movie nights, then going on trips with him together, and like he has done so much for me and he has kept me in such a way that like it's like a complete luxury. It's like a life full of luxury, right? Because you get everything that one ever needs, right? The guidance, the homeopathic part. Whenever I get stuck, I can always ask sir. Whenever I'm sad, I always go to clinics so that my mood gets cheered up, right? So somewhere I always have this thing in mind, and मैं घर पे हमेशा ये चीज़ें मेरे मम्मी पापा को ही बोलता हूँ, मेरे दादाजी को बोलता हूँ कि मेरे लाइफ में आगे कुछ हो ना हो, बट जो सर ने मेरे लिए किया है, सर ने मुझे जैसे रखा है, बस मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं भी जो मेरे स्टूडेंट्स रहेंगे, मेरे साथ जो काम कर रहे रहेंगे, उनको ऐसे रखूँ, है ना? ऑलवेज फीड देम, लाइक आई ऑलवेज हैड दिस थिंग इन मी बिफोर ऑल्सो, कि आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज लव paying the bills of the restaurants where we used to go to eat, and initiating that thing as well there. This thing I always loved, feeding someone, and this thing of sir also, which I will always carry forward the legacy ahead, कि ये जो चीज़ है वो मैं हमेशा कभी नहीं भूलूंगा, जैसे मुझे रखा गया है. I'll never forget it, because these acts of kindness always create ripples which one is not aware of. Like the person who is making the ripples is not aware, but somewhere he has inspired someone so much that he'll carry forward it, है ना? वो आपकी मशाल लेके चलेंगे आगे, तो वो चीज़ें तो होने वाली है, right? So the 10th lesson is that sometimes people will bully you, laugh at you, make fun of you, but there will come a time when they clap for you, salute you. You always keep working, because जिस जिस पर ये जग हंसता है, जिस जिस पर ये जग हंसा है, इतिहास उसी ने रचा है ना? So like I said, that my initial 15 years when I was alone were very terrible for me, because I am someone who cannot share his experiences or something which, like of course not experiences, but I am someone who cannot share something which is going on inside him, right? My emotions and all, I cannot openly share it with anyone. So that's quite reserved type of thing, feeling, because I was someone who was bullied at school and was not taken part of in sports activity, this that, because I don't know why. Maybe whether I was in the top of the zone, because this thing has come very natural to me, that wherever I've been, somewhere or the other, even if I don't want to come in the headlights or the hot topic of discussion, I've always been pushed up, है ना, as a matter of discussion and topic to talk about. And this I'm not saying upon it on myself, but people have actually told me, so I'm telling it to you all. So yeah, going through this depressive phase, bullying and all is very damaging, and it kills your self-esteem and your self-confidence, right? So yeah, but I'd always had this one thing in my mind, that the best for you is yet to come, है ना? And the only way you can shut people up is by your work, that you can show your work to them, and like only then they can be shut up. So yeah, now even in medical college, when I came in my first year, I used to always ask questions in my classes, and like sometimes they used to be silly. So then over the time, I was the joke of the whole class, when the people who had filled the form of freshers. So they had written my name in that list of most annoying person in my whole batch. So like my name came up in that, and I was still very annoyed myself. Not annoyed, but I was still confused that what have I done actually to annoy people, right? I was just asking doubts simply which I had in my mind, which every student should ask, because that if you ask a doubt for a second, you are fool for a second, but for those who don't ask are fools for lifetime, right? So yeah, in my first year of medical school as well, I was bullied, I was laughed about, I was mocked about, and like again, like, but I was at this point of time in my life, I was very strong enough that things couldn't affect me personally. But yeah, I always had that thing in mind, that things will change if I work well and if I work good. And today, in today's scenario, things have changed. What my image was there in my first year, and what image I portray now in my intern, is like a completely different picture of myself only. So the same people who are laughing on me today, they clap for the work you have done, they appreciate the work that you have done, and that's how tables turn. So I always have this saying that the tables will eventually turn. Tables turn, bridges burn, you live and you learn. So keep working on yourself and the work which you do, right? 11th point, we all know our worth. सबको अपनी capabilities पता होती है. In short, everybody knows their own औकात. Always try to convert your minuses into plus, and always try to convert your weak points into your strong points. And lastly, know your worth, then add tax. So don't sell yourself off very easily, है ना? Don't be in the desperation to chase people and chase. If it is boy, then they'll chase girls. If it is girls, then they'll chase boys. Sorry, you don't chase, you attract. Okay, so you become so attractive that people come to you, and you don't have to reject them. They don't have to reject you, but there should come a point in time in your life wherein you reject them, and it's not the opposite, right? So always try to convert your weak points into your strong points. You analyze your own self. You see that what things you're doing wrong, which you know you are doing wrong, and you can change that thing about you, right? Suppose Jordan Peterson had this very interesting saying that everybody knows that what they're doing wrong in their lives, and they still keep doing the wrong things. So the only way to come out of this is that you become little self-aware, and you see actually that what you're wasting your time on, you're wasting your life on, and then try to build up that thing and try to build up your life on those negatives, and then convert them into your positive strength. Okay, so the 12th point, we are nearly 1 hour in without break, continuously just talking and talking. I'm very sorry if this is quite long, because I have this hang of just going on and on and on. The loquacity is like quite highly marked. So when around the 12th point, when around people who don't know you fully, always play the following trick. Play the fool card. Be stupid, talk shit, let them be in misconceptions about you. अपना बादशाह तभी निकालो जब सामने वाला एक का हो. So this is again a law of power. Like this law has been explained very beautifully in the 48 Laws of Power ki book by Robert Greene. But yeah, so I always believe that what you really are now, you need not need to always show it, right? So sometimes if you are working somewhere, you are in a group of friends and you are working with your friends as well, so let everybody think that you are losing in life, right? And you are not winning, because most of the people want that कि आप जिंदगी में हारो, है ना? किसी की आपकी जीत पे तो कोई खुश होगा नहीं, उल्टा नजर लगने के चांस बढ़ जाते हैं. बट अगर आप हार रहे हो तो फिर आपको कोई टच भी नहीं करेगा कि यार जाने दे, ये बंदा तो ऑलरेडी इतना बुरे फेस में जा रहा है, तो लाइक let him you know let him go to that phase. Now since I've told this, even my secrets are out now, but it's fine. Like I am sure that not everybody will reach this 1 hour mark and come here, but of course the people who've come in always play the victim, like not the victim card but the fool card, है ना? कि आप सबको ऐसे ही बताओ कि हाँ आप ढ हो, आपको कुछ नहीं आता, उनको आता है. You don't have to deflate the egos, but you have to inflate their egos. You inflate the egos of the opposite person, and they'll feel like wow, like heaven. सही है यार, मैं सबसे ऊपर हूँ, मैं सबसे टॉप पे हूँ. And you keep winning your private victories in private, in silent, okay? Because people like you losing, nobody likes you winning. So always play the fool card wherever and whenever possible. And like I said कि अपना बादशाह तभी निकालो जब सामने वाला एक का हो. जो बराबरी की गेम है तब तक आप सिर्फ खेलते रहो हंसी मजाक में. There is a difference between being religious and being spiritual. Try to find it. This is one point on which I will not say anything. It's your personal discovery, your self-discovery. You have to find it on your own self, okay? Since we are running short of time, let me now just buckle up the remaining points. Knowledge, when shared, doubles. Mostly 99% of the people you meet will be secretive, but you don't. Share your learnings, plans, ideas so that others can grow as well. Things kept with you will die with you. So this thing again, like I said, I've explained it previously about the meta part when I was telling. Okay, always share, because you never know, the ripples of kindness, help, gratitude you create will become a tsunami one day, definitely. So keep sharing, keep helping wherever you can. Maintain a very good senior junior rapport and bond, if at all it is possible. But always remember that knowledge, when shared, doubles, okay? And most people will never share. So you don't be the most people, you be that 1% class. You be in the top 1% who does things. You join the 1% community in which we are right now, and you are always welcome. If at all you get a chance in life, study the Indian Vedic philosophy. And just ask this question to yourself when you are sitting alone, when you are self introspecting your life, that who am I? Okay, you have to ask this question, who am I? Just to like give you one hint or one lead about it, let me tell you that if you YouTube IIT lecture on Who Am I by Swami Sarva Priyananda, you will get a beautiful lecture of him delivering his lecture at IIT, and this can be a very good entry point into this field. I feel EQ is always greater than IQ. Always emphasize on strengthening your emotional intelligence. It can save many things. So recently, in the past 2 or 3 years, I've been in situations with people and like in very deep connection and very deep bonds wherein I've understood the meaning of EQ, your emotional quotient, right? Because if your EQ is not very high or it is substantially very low, you will not be able to maintain relationships. I'm not talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, but any relationship of your life. If you want to maintain the relationships very smoothly, very nicely, you have to have a good EQ, right? And a good book to start this journey would be Master Your Emotions. Master Your Emotions, right? This could be a good entry point in your knowledge of emotional intelligence and your emotions in general, right? Because there many times we do things which can hurt people. I've done things which I regret now that I shouldn't have done, which has definitely hurt people. But yeah, this is life. That you every day when you wake up is a new day. Every day when you wake up is a new you, and you should always keep upgrading yourself. The software which you update in our phones, that same software which we have in our body should also be updated from time to time. And regretting that part is not again an option, but you can always strengthen the relationships which you have in your life right now and make them more stronger for you. Okay, be grateful. If you use someone's material, for example, everyone in my class mostly used the materials we had provided. It's not like we need the appreciation. We have got that in plenty. It's just the attitude of gratitude one must have. So like I've already mentioned this in the previous part, that if at all अगर आपने किसी ने आपको कोई help किया है, right, so you have to always mention it. कि suppose now whenever in my life, wherever I will go, right, so I will always mention the people who have supported me in my tough times. I'll always mention, because I am in homeopathy right now, so I'll always mention the name of my guru, Dr. Farooq Master, and the people who have helped me, Dr. Yatrik, Dr. Abhishek, wherever I go in life, right? There are people who help you, so you have to appreciate that help from them, and you have to mention them. Ki, ha, at this point of time, this person and this so and so had helped me, and it really helped me change my perspectives towards life. है ना? And see, when we see this now, nobody expects कि अगर मैं किसी की लाइफ सुधारूँ तो मुझे कोई सामने से बोले, है ना? Some people do it very naturally and some people do it very with a very good intent. But if at all you get a chance, you have to always convey that message. So if at all in my life also, like my late mentor Mr. JR, I couldn't convey my message to him, but I always have his frame hanging in my room with a nice garland in remembrance of him. But whenever I have that chance of expressing my gratitude to my teachers, to the people because of whom I am who I am, I never miss that opportunity. Because you never know, when you write something good for someone, the opposite person feels very good, like he feels literally very good, and you never know that what somebody is going through in their life. But your words of encouragement, your words of gratitude can really make a big difference in someone's life, right? So I never miss an opportunity whenever I can, to write to Yatrik bhai, to write to Sir Farooq sir. Yes sir, I'm always and I will always be indebted in all the things you have done for me and you do for me, right? And that has to be there in your life. You need to have that attitude of gratitude. Okay, if somebody has helped you, you need to give them the due credits. Point 18, take constructive criticism very seriously, but remember, not from all but only from some. Don't let your ego come in the way. So a very nice example again which I can relate is that when I was assisting Dr. Yatrik bhai, and like it was just very initial days wherein, of course, now he would have judged me by then, like who I am and about me personally, because everybody can know you in just 2 or 3 sittings or meetings, right? So I was going, then Yatrik bhai one day said, "Okay, chal Chintan, we'll go for a ride." So he made me sit next to him and we went on for a ride in a car. And all throughout that ride, he was just telling me points which I need to work on myself, which I was not doing wrong, but maybe I was doing it little extra. So he was always telling me that, Chintan, you need to work on this part, you need to work on this part, you need to work on this. Till date, whenever I make any mistake in the clinic as well, or with sir or anywhere, so he's always the one who is pointing out to me and teaching me, this can be work, this can be done like this, like an elder brother. And I feel that we all should have someone in our life like I have, who can guide you, who can tell you, and who can at least give you something, okay, nahi, you should start working upon it or start looking upon it, right? And I'm very grateful to have that guidance and that criticism, which is constructive criticism, at the right point of time in my life, which has immensely helped me. So yes, do take it very seriously and work upon it, right? But again, don't take it from people whom you don't look up to, or like whom you don't want to become, right? So that is that point. Always try your best to be a high value man. There should come a time in life after which you settle, but for nothing less than the best. Your best is yet to come. Have patience. So again, like I said, that we must have our integrity, we must have our ethics. And it is very sad to see that how the Western worlds are influencing our current generations and the current people. You need to be like, even if you date someone, if marriage is not your only goal, then you should not date people. If you're going on dates, then maybe marriage should be your only goal, right? And one should not fuck around, hook up around with people randomly, because this is one point wherein people will not tell you, but I need to make it, because since I am doing this video right now, and as a senior brother, as an elder brother, it is my duty to tell that things like, hookups, sex will be easily available to you. And there might come a time in your life wherein you could easily get all these things, right? But you have to decide whether you want it, whether you don't want it, whether you want the delayed gratification or whether you want the urgent gratification. So yeah, we have to look up to our Indian culture, Indian ethics. And it is a very old school concept which I am talking about, and like I am an old school person, so I would say that, like, I don't know how to say it, because maybe I'll make a whole video about it, or maybe I don't know that how people will judge me upon this thing, but I'm okay being judged. But if there is something, like suppose it's a thing wherein I'm sharing my experiences, so I have the freedom of speech to share this thing to you all, that please look up to character in people, and always have that integrity while you select people, also when you go out also. So you always have that history of checking the past history, family history. In short, like we say that in homeopathy, we take a case only, right? So you know everything about that thing. And yeah, but you have to wait for the right time for things to happen, for the magic to happen. And I'm sure, and I'm very sure that the magic will happen when it is the right time, right? But again, you have to wait for that thing. But you, in the meanwhile, always try to be the best you can, and try to be a high value man or a woman. The 20th point, yeah, love is a 4-letter word, but without these 4 letters, life will be very dull. Be a lover, be a passionate lover of people, things, profession. Having someone to love to makes a life worth living. Okay, and this point is very underrated point, that you have to be romantic, you have to romanticize life, you have to romanticize people, if at all you get a chance to be with someone, right? If not, then you have to wait for that chance to come it in your life. But no matter what you do, you have to be a passionate lover, right? Whatever you do it with passion. You love someone so much कि जो एक हम बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में कहावत थी कि प्रेम किसी से इतना करो कि उसके मन में हमेशा आपको खोने का डर बना रहे, एंड विश्वास किसी पे इतना करो कि वो हमेशा आपको छलते वक्त हमेशा खुद को दोषी समझे. सो आपको ट्रेन करना है. You have to love. You have to love life. You have to live life. You have to love and love, love and love. Okay? So be a lover and be a giver. Sometimes we don't get things we like, but this could be a magical stroke of luck. मन का हो तो अच्छा, मन का ना हो तो और अच्छा. जो बीत गई सो बात गई, है ना? So sometimes it may happen that you want something, you want this girl, you want that things to happen in your life, but sometimes things don't go around. Sometimes the professions don't go along. Sometimes, your own things don't go along the way you have decided to go. But what I've observed is that it can be a beautiful stroke of luck, right? It can be a magical stroke of luck, because somewhere God has kept something for you, destined for you, and you will get it at the right time when things are right for you. Okay? So yeah, मन का हो तो अच्छा, मन का न हो तो और अच्छा. I am a strong believer of luck, but I've seen serving others with a pure soul increases your chances of being lucky. So, like the people who know me, the people who see my life stories and my statuses and my things that I do, you all can definitely see that somebody, if there was someone who used to view it from a third party point of view, he would say that definitely Chintan is lucky. But what people don't know is that you can become more lucky by serving others with a very pure soul and a very pure intention of not getting anything back in return but only giving. Okay, so I do believe in luck. I do believe in destiny, because I had recently seen a video of Sonu Nigam telling कि मैं लक का बहुत बड़ा बिलीव करने वाला इंसान हूँ. मैं लक में मानता हूँ, बिकॉज मेरे ऐसे बहुत सारे सिंगर्स आए गए, बट सोनू निगम बना, वो उसकी तकदीर में था लिखा माथे पे. तो जो आपके माथे पे लिखा है वो तो होने ही वाला है. अमिताभ बच्चन के माथे पे लिखा था कि वो अमिताभ बच्चन बने, है ना? ऐसे बहुत सारे एक्टर्स हैं जो शायद से उनसे भी बेटर हो, है ना? बट बहुत सारी चीज़ें डिस्टेंड होती है आपके नसीब की, जो आपको अगर आपके नसीब में है तो मिल जाएगी, नहीं है तो फिर नहीं मिलेगी. आपको मान के निकल जाना है. बट डेफिनेटली देर इज समथिंग नोन एज लक. बट like I said, that you can always increase your chance of being lucky by doing the right things. And we are coming back to the final points of this video. It is already 1 hour 12 minutes long. We are living in times where being adulterous is easy, cheating is easy, backstabbing someone is easy. If you have already done it, try to sanctify yourself. Keep your soul transparent and keep your soul very clean. Live your life such a way that people call you a pure soul. Be a giver. So yes, this is like self-explanatory that we are living, and like just few minutes back I have explained it to you what I mean by this. कि यहाँ पे किसी को किसी की पोजीशन खा लेने के लिए ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है ना? नीति से चलने के लिए टाइम नहीं लगता है. सो यहाँ गलत चीज़ें करने के लिए टाइम नहीं लगता है, बट सही चीज़ें बनाने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगता है. रिसेंटली आई वॉज लिसनिंग टू दिस टॉक ऑन यूट्यूब ऑफ ज्ञान वत्सला स्वामी, wherein he had said that your ethics are very important in the success of your life. If you're doing a business, your ethics in your niti and niyam are very important, because just one wrong step and it's like living next to a cobra who can bite you at any moment. And whenever a king cobra bites, mind you that not even an anti-venom can save you. So these are the few points: ethics, being very loyal, committed to your people, to your partners in future, if at all it is. Like suppose I cannot tell you the future because I have not been in that situation, but what I've seen from my parents, I can of course tell you that this commitment, this loyalty which we see in our parents, I really doubt and I really am scared that whether we'll get that thing in the future as well or no. Because you see your grandparents, you see your parents, like how committed they are, how loyal they are. And of course, if you've been fucking around people left, right and center, hooking up with people here and there, how can you be stable with one person through your whole life, right? It's like you eat in all restaurants and then somebody tells you to eat a home food for rest of your life. That is not possible. Okay, so yeah, we have to always try to sanctify our souls. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बहुत बड़ा ज्ञानी हूँ या मैं सब ज्ञान दे रहा हूँ. We all make mistakes and we all are, this is just me sharing my experiences, because I wanted to make one such video which at least portrays who I am as a person, right? but still there could be some bad things in me also which I have not yet discovered, है ना? Or I can discover if I meet someone and if we spend some time, or if that thing goes along. But definitely we have to work on ourselves, we have to sanctify our souls, and we have to live life such a way that people should look up to you and tell them that this guy has a like gem of a heart, and his heart is of gold. His heart is very clean, his heart is pure. So live your life such a way. There might come a time in your life, there might come in life sometime when nothing seems to work right. When nothing goes right, don't go left, take a step back and pause, relax. Sometimes time is the only best healer. Give yourself and your people some time. है ना? This is very important, that when we rush things, things don't go right. So we have to take a step back. We have to, take a step back and just give our people time to heal, to grow, to prosper, है ना? And not be very dominating, very possessive in things. We have to give the time people require. एंड लगे कभी ऐसे लाइफ में कि आपकी चीज़ें और लाइफ सही नहीं चल रही है, तो ये मान के चलना कि अप्स एंड डाउन्स लाइफ में आते रहेंगे. इफ इट इज़ अ फ्लैट लाइन, it is a flat ECG, and a flat ECG means you are dead. So your life to go, the ups and the downs are a part of it, and they will come, the success, the failures, and the cycle will keep coming back and forth. But yeah, whenever you don't seem like something is not going right, don't go left, take a step back, relax, analyze, evaluate, introspect, meditate. Maybe you can get your answers. And lastly, something that I want to share with you all and tell you all, that jealousy, envy, hatred can really rob the peace of your mind. These poisons kill you even without ingesting them. Avoid it at all cost. Remember, there is always someone is doing better than you. It does not mean you have failed. Again, I'll read. There is always someone who has done or is doing better than you. It does not mean that you have failed. There will always be someone who you have done better than. That doesn't mean that you have succeeded. Okay, in the end it is always you versus you. So लाइफ में कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग रहेंगे जिनसे आपने अच्छा किया है काम. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप सफल हो. लाइफ में ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग रहेंगे जिन्होंने आपसे अच्छा किया है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप फेल हो गए हो. आपकी परीक्षा, आपकी खुद की जो फाइट है वो आपसे ही होनी चाहिए. सो इट इज ऑलवेज यू वर्सेस यू इन द एंड. Life is not a competition to be in, but an experience to witness. So you keep experiencing, most importantly, keep living, right? So this is the whole gist of the video. And to conclude, and giving again one life example of my own journey, that when I began, there are people who had big channels on YouTube, right? So I never felt very jealous, very envy के अरे उसकी ऐसे इतने ज़्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स है, क्या फालतू सिखाती है ये वो, मतलब नहीं मज़ा आ रहा है, नहीं समझ रहा है, बट स्टिल उससे कैसे इतने बढ़ गए ये वो. नो, आई वॉज श्योर दैट if at all it is written in my destiny, I will make videos and I'll top the charts. Still there are some channels who are leading than me in YouTube or in Telegram as well. But no, Telegram mein, like apart from Saurav's, who is like our own, we are the only people who have topped the chart there. But on YouTube the competition is still there, but we don't consider it as a competition. We consider that as a motivation कि हमें ये, like we can get motivated in, at least because they are so consistent, they are getting the numbers right, they are getting the money right, and why are we not getting able to do it right? So take everything in life as a motivation. Suppose you see my life and you feel कि wow, like he's doing something, then you should be motivated कि नहीं मैं इससे ज़्यादा करूँ, मैं इससे अच्छा करूँ. Because keeping everything aside, from deep within in my heart, I am a teacher, and my parents are a teacher, and I've got that from them. And a teacher's only aim and intention in life should be कि उनकी स्टूडेंट्स उनसे आगे बढ़े. सपोज टीचर का ये इंटेंशन नहीं है, अगर आपने जज नहीं किया, लाइक आपने जज कर लिया है, then it is a question mark on your side that whether the opposite person is actually a teacher. Because a teacher is always a teacher, and the teachers always want their students to go and excel more than them that they have done in life. And this is the whole selfless profession of teachers, right? that they help you become better and grow, so that you can grow in life, you can become better than them in life. And that is how it goes, right? So like I said, that life is not a competition to be in, but an experience to witness. Keep experiencing, most importantly keep living and loving. So with that said, thank you for, like, if you if you have if you have stuck through to this video till the end, I really appreciate. And अगर आपने यहाँ तक आ ही गए हो तो फिर एक कमेंट करके ही जाना, so that I get to know कि you have watched the whole video, right? So just a comment would do that, or maybe a single heart drop in the comment would at least let me know that how many people have actually watched the whole video, right? So that's that for this video, and I'm extremely grateful for all that I've got in my life. And I always assure and promise you all to give it back to whenever and wherever I can, and I'll keep on working, and we have a long way to go, right? This is just the beginning. Thank you so much. May God bless us all. Thank you.